Okay, when we left off last time, we changed the color on here and looked okay except for this home thing. So we need to get this home to have the same colors as the rest. So let's go into the HTML to see what's going on. So if we go in, we can see that our problem is where it says home, which is right here. So this one has a class of active in the navbar dash nav class. So here's our problem. So we need to format this A tag for that. So let's go ahead and take a look. First, we're going to be using the navbar. So let's go ahead and copy that. So if we go into our styles, we can see that, well, we did this one okay, but we still need more styles. So we're going to say the same thing we did up above. Well, let's go ahead and paste in what we have, okay, because well, that's too much. Okay, all I needed was this, not this. Okay, so this is what we're targeting, is an navbar. That's also in the navbar inverse, so we'll copy that and we'll paste that into. All right, so navbar inverse, and then we have another class, so we'll put a dot there, of navbar. So we're going to say inside this, we also want it to look inside and look for another class. So let's see what the other class is. And the other class is active. So let's go into that and say, okay, well, it's dot active. And inside that active, we want to format the anchor tag, so the A tag. Shoo. Okay, so that's it. So we've changed the basic style, but we have this other style that says, well, on the active anchor link, make that black because it's still inheriting the stuff from the basic CSS template, and we want to change that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and style this up, and we want this to have the same style as the other. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I can see everything. All right, big. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and copy this exact same style, and I'm going to paste it into here. All right, so looking good, almost. All right, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. All right, so here we are. And now I'll do File and Save and hope when we go back that this will fix that. And refresh. Yes, success. All right, so that's done. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go ahead and add a component underneath this. And what we're going to add is a jumbotron. So we need to go back to our Bootstrap page. And again, if I shrink this, it's going to go away. So if we go into Components and then go down to Jumbotron, it'll take us here. And I need to move over a little bit so I can get to the scroll bar. Okay, there we go. So all we need to do is we want to have that, and then we'll configure it. So we're going to hit the copy here. And then we're going to go back to our page. And we're going to go into the HTML, and what we want to do is scroll down to where the navigation is done. All right, so this is the end of the nav right here. And we're going to go ahead and paste in the jumbotron. All right, so we'll do File and Save and see how that turned out. There it is. All right, but ugly. What's going on here? It's not where we expected it to be. And the thing that we have to do is, right now it's just sitting, so it's going to go the whole length. We want to put this in a container. So let's go ahead, let's go back, and after the nav, well, let's go ahead and put the whole thing in a container and see what happens. All right, so this nav is hanging out here. So let's do div.container, and then tab. So there's our container. This is going to contain everything on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, Control X to get rid of it. Then move down to the very bottom of my page, and right above, oh, dang it, right above the scripts. We can go ahead and put in a div. Let's see, so now, and let's go ahead and comment this entire site container. All right, then we'll select that, and then do Control / comment that so we know what this div is for. And actually we can do here, we can do end of jumbotron, and then select that. So we know what these things are as this thing gets busier and busier. So Control /. All right, then we'll do File and Save and see what we've done. And refresh. All right, so looking a little bit better. Now it's got rounded corners, but look what happened to our menu now. Our menu is hanging out there. We really didn't want to have, we wanted to have this go across the entire top of the page. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and remove the navigation section from that container. All right, so we're going to go back up and say, well, we want the nav really to hang out there outside of a container. So let's go ahead and do Control X and say, but I deemed that jumbotron to be inside a container. So let's go ahead and Control V. Okay, and we'll do File and Save. Okay, and let's go back now and refresh. All right, so now we can see as we expand out, we can see that the menu goes across the top, but this jumbotron stays nicely inside the walls of our page. So as we expand out, it just expands out with it. Nice. And then as we scroll in, it's just going to get, it's very responsive and it'll move in as long with everything else. Great. All right, so that looks good for this one. We'll configure that when we come back.